Sales Hunter, and I'm going to unlock for you the formula for success when it comes to prospecting. And it comes down to really a few basic letters. C plus C equals O equals P. That's what I'm going to unpack for you. I'm going to show you how to do each one in this episode of the Sales Hunter podcast.
You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast with Mark Hunter, where the focus is to help you as a sales leader sell with confidence and integrity. And now here's your host.
Hey, we all know that prospecting is a challenge. I get it. That's what I do all the time. That's what I teach people and show people how to do. And I know it can be difficult. And I'll tell you what, it comes down to really a few basic things. But I believe if you get this formula right, C plus C equals O equals P, you will be well on your way to being successful when it comes to prospecting. Let's break down what each one of these mean. The first C is about continuity. You see, one of the biggest challenges people have when it comes to prospecting is they don't stay in the game. They make one call, they make one follow-up, or they may make two calls. No, you've got to stay in the game. I recently closed a deal that I had been working on for 4 years. 4 years I'd been working on it. I'm in the midst of closing another deal that I've been working on for about 8 or 9 months. But it requires continuously staying in the game. It's the continuity. The C could also be your cadence. What's your cadence for getting it done? What is your consistency in getting it done? In other words, are you consistent in following up with them? So that's the first C. The second C, which is C plus C, is competence. You see, competence is something you have to create with the customer. And competence is seen not by in the information you share, but it's in the questions you ask. Now, what do I mean by this? You see, if all I'm doing is say, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, they're never going to buy from you. Competency is demonstrated by the value you create, the critical insights that you share, the questions that you ask. It may be by way of voicemail. It may be by way of a social media message. It could be email. It could be a Zoom call, whatever. But they have to see enough of this. And this is why I say you've got to stay in your lane. You can't be a salesperson to the free world. It just doesn't work. It's too big out there. You got to stay in your lane. But when you are that first C, continuity, and you combine it with competence, and see what's interesting is as you deliver insights to the customer, they're going to see you as being competent. And guess what? Then you're going to also feel competent to them. You see, the competency cuts both ways, which then takes us to the equals C. That's confidence. You see, an unsure customer is never going to buy. If an unsure customer is going to buy, they're only going to buy based on price. It's called free, okay? Because they're just not going to buy. And a non-confident customer is a confused customer. And guess what? A confused customer also doesn't buy. You see, I got to create a level of confidence. And if I'm doing this continuity, consistency, cadence, that first C, combined with competence, creating competence, because the information I'm sharing, the insights, all that questions I'm asking and so forth, regardless of whether I'm actually having conversations with them or not, I can still ask them a question in a voicemail. I can still ask them a question in an email. But what does it do? It's creating a level of confidence. And this level of confidence now begins to say that they want to engage with you. And at that point, and only at that point, am I now moving out of the prospecting phase. And I'm truly moving into the sales phase, which is the O, opportunity. You see, up until that point, I can't put an opportunity on the table. If I attempt to put an opportunity on the table before that point, I'm doing everybody a disservice because I don't know what the customer is looking for. You see, it's only when the customer is confident with me are they going to share with me what they need. It's only going to be that I'm going to be able to ask questions that are going to really help me peel the onion and really get down to the core of the issues of what they're looking for. It's really only in that confidence stage that I'm going to begin to help them see what they didn't think was possible. The O is when I can begin to now help them achieve, because now I can begin to put the opportunity on the table. And when I put the opportunity on the table, after I've understood their challenges and their problems and everything, suddenly guess what? It moves to a much higher level of a potential close. You see, opportunity, you can't rush yourself into putting the price on the table or putting the solution on the table until you first know them and you've been able to unpack with them what the challenge is. Which then takes us, so we got C plus C equals O equals P, which stands for potential and profit and people. And you can put whatever one you want in there. I like to put in there profit. I don't hide from profit. And here's why I don't hide from profit, because of this. I want to make money when I sell you. I want to make money. And oh, by the way, you know what? You're going to make more money than I will, because it's a return on investment. I was speaking with a gentleman this morning, and he had just closed a pretty good sized deal with a customer, and it was a pretty good sized contract for he and his company. And I said, it's very interesting, but you made your company's making a lot of money off this contract. Think of how much money the customer is making because they're doing business with you and the outcomes that they're going to achieve. You see, never think for a moment that the price that you charge is too high. It's not. No, it's not. Because of the outcome the customer's going to get from it. You see, what I've just done is I've just laid out for you C plus C equals O equals P. An incredibly powerful process to go through to help you prospect and sell and close deals. You see, you're never going to have deals to close unless you first prospect. And you're never going to have deals to close unless you first qualify your prospects. And that's really what this whole C plus C equals C is all about. My name is Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. You've been listening to the Sales Hunter podcast. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to rate this show. Would you please leave a review on your favorite podcast app? If you're watching it on LinkedIn or Facebook, hey, put a comment in there. Love to hear from you. And do me a favor, subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app, would you? Hey, I deliver 2 shows a week. One short one like this, and a second episode where we do a deep dive with a subject matter expert. Why? Because I want to give you the tools to help you see and achieve what you didn't think was possible, so you can help others, your customers, help them see and achieve what they didn't think was possible. Sales is absolutely, without a doubt, the greatest profession. In fact, it's not a profession, it's a lifestyle. And I love it, and I love it more every day. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. This is the Sales Hunter podcast. Great selling.